surpassed in her reputation for debauchery. In this respect, at least, Dido wasn't wrong. In the centuries following Messalina's execution in AD 48, her name became a metonym for the nymphomaniac, the femme fatale, the woman who dared express sexual desire. In an illuminated manuscript from medieval France, we encounter a remarkably relaxed-looking Messalina, burning in the eternal flames of damnation, engaged in a furious debate with the emperors Tiberius and Caligula over which of them had sinned the most. French revolutionary pamphleteers decried Marie Antoinette as the new Messalina, while her sister, the powerful Queen of Naples, Maria Carolina, was described by one observer as combining all the lubricity of a Messalina and the unorthodox tastes of a Sappho. In 1920s British suburbia, a woman convicted of driving her lover to murder her husband was immortalised as the Messalina of the suburbs, and in the 1930s, the Players Cigarette Company produced cigarette cards as part of a series on famous beauties, showing a red lipsticked Messalina draped across a couch, dress slipping off one shoulder, her arrogance and self-possession palpable as she empties her wineglass onto the floor. The theatrical release poster of the 1977 film Messalina, Messalina shows the titular empress in a backless tunic cut all the way down to the top of her thighs. Its slogan promises viewers the varied amorous adventures of the most insatiable devourer of men. Messalina had become the archetypal bad woman, a monstrous personification of the intersection between male fantasy and male fear. Messalina's legacy in Western cultural consciousness is hardly surprising, given her treatment in the ancient sources. Following her execution, the empress suffered damnatio memoriae. Her name was chiselled off monuments, her statues were destroyed, and her reputation was rendered unprotected. Left to do their worst, male historians, poets, even scientists had a field day, accusing Messalina of adultery, greed, prostitution, bigamy, and murder, and working through anxieties about women's morality and power in the process. The combined destruction and bastardization of her history make the reconstruction of an accurate, factual account of Messalina's life difficult. Much is disputable. Even the most basic facts are subject to debate. To take just one example, estimates of Messalina's date of birth range from AD 17 to as late as AD 26. For a woman who most likely never saw her 30th birthday, the difference of nearly a decade is crucial. If you take AD 17 as the year of Messalina's birth, she was around 21 years old when she married Claudius in AD 38, and around 31 when she died in AD 48. If, however, you contend that she was born in AD 26, she was only 13 at the time of her marriage, and only 22 at the time of her death. This has obvious consequences for our analysis of the woman and her actions. Was she a virgin married to a man more than 3 times her age, a teenager exploring her sexuality, a girl far out of her depth in a court teeming with political intrigue that she could not understand? Or was she a young woman well aware of her sexual power and perfectly capable of plotting with the best of them? So, is Messalina a lost cause for the historian? Perhaps I'm biased, but I would argue that she is not. By the standards of the ancient world, Messalina lived in a place and time about which we possess a huge amount of information. The 100 years or so that lie to either side of her birth are perhaps the best documented age of Western history before the Renaissance. Roman society in this period was immensely, overtly, ostentatiously literate. Its people inhabited an urban landscape saturated with writing. Laws and decrees were inscribed on stone or bronze. Eulogies to the deceased were carved onto the tombs that lined the roads. Clerks named the subject.